Welcome back to episode 4 of Write That Down. Today we are going to talk about the roommate breakdown. You have allergies, try a Zyrtec, take it at night, see what happens.
Last time I thought I had allergies, I had COVID.
Well, let's hope you don't have COVID now, but if you do, I know what you should be watching.
You have a binge?
So I haven't binged it yet because I started watching it with my husband, which means I can't binge it. But you have to, it's on Netflix, and Netflix is killing it. You have to watch Should I Marry a Murderer?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no, you shouldn't, but keep going.
So I've watched one episode, and it is a very mind-boggling conundrum. It's based in Glasgow, Scotland, so it's obviously beautiful. And you would think it wouldn't even be a question. Should I marry a murderer? Probably not. Now, once you're married and there's a murderer involved, that's a moral dilemma that each person has to sort out for their own self.
Okay.
For me, it's going to come down to, was it like a Dexter situation? But I'm just saying, you need to watch it.
I didn't watch Dexter, so
we're going to talk about that another day because that's new information to me and I need time to process that. Speaking of Netflix, Netflix has a new movie out. It's called Roommates. It's a Happy Madison production. There's a little bit of nepotism. Adam Sandler's daughter is in it, but she's great. And it centers around a roommate situation that, no spoilers, escalates pretty dramatically. I'm not trying to spoil anything, but it highlights a set of dynamics that are actually very common in shared living situations. And that's kind of what we're going to focus on, the patterns, not the plot.
So at a high level, Roommates on Netflix, fast friendship, people get close quickly. There isn't a lot of clarity around expectations, and then things start to shift, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you've got issues like borrowing clothes. You've got ownership and consent, okay? So take something as simple as borrowing clothes. That's actually a question of ownership and permission.
Yeah, was permission given? Is it ongoing permission, or is it like a one-time, hey, you may borrow this sweater for this occasion? What condition does it need to be returned in? And who bears the loss if it's damaged? And I would say that this is predominantly going to be sort of like a girl issue. We get very touchy about our clothes. I don't see a lot of guys, or I never saw a lot of guys borrowing their roommate's stuff.
That is a thing I used to see in college with like suits for interviews.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't see that. But I saw a lot of it in college when it came to like, we're going to age ourselves and date ourselves here. We are the elder millennials. So we had going out tops.
Agreed.
So it was like, what are you wearing tonight? Going out top? Oh, I don't have one. Oh, you can borrow one of mine. So
It's okay though. They're back.
They are. It's all back. Did you see pop collars are back?
No.
Layered tank tops are back.
I never stopped.
With the pop collar or the layered tank? Why pop? We'll get to that. But you see a lot in roommate situations and friend situations where people treat informal sharing like it has no rules. The truth of the matter is, it has unspoken rules. I think anyone who's ever lent an article of clothing to someone is like, no, this was supposed to be returned to me in the condition in which it was given.
Yes. And as someone who loves their clothes a lot, I've loved fashion my entire life. It's a little problematic for my mom, especially. I think that kind of describes our relationship with borrowing things from each other. When those rules aren't aligned upon, one person can feel taken advantage of and the other person kind of feels blindsided. What one time sometimes feels like being generous, if it's not aligned upon that was a one-time kind of thing, not an ongoing thing, and now it's all of a sudden everything feels like it's a free-for-all.
Yeah, you come home and you're like, where are those heels?
I had a plan to wear something and it's not there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that doesn't feel good. So,
Yeah. So the clothes, that's always going to be a biggie.
yes. Maybe live with someone who's just not your shoe size or very
Then
different
they'll
height.
just get stretched out.
No. It's savage. That's just
I've seen it happen.
I need names, I need dates. Off we'll take it offline.
I'll tell you offline. I can give you names, dates, floors. I can tell you where things happened.
I
Found out.
would love that later.
I got you.
I got a lot of questions. My mom and I are only about a half size difference sometimes. So it's kind of great. But yeah, we've had to kind of, work on, well, what are you wearing? Well, what are you wearing?
Yeah.
So obviously mom gets first pick. It's her stuff.
We have different, very different households.
Well,
I'll be like,
my
Mom,
mom's
let's
the
share
middle.
this. And then I take it home and my mom never sees it again.
We've kind of turned into that, but my mom just got into fashion, which I'm kind of loving. But she was a middle child, so she doesn't always do well with sharing. So it's new.
I get that.
This is new.
Okay.
I'm not trying to ruin it. Well, it still smells like a new car,
I get it.
So I think something also that's really a sticking point that comes up with roommates, the shared trip.
Oh, God.
Uh-huh.
Not when
Yeah.
the trip makes it out of the group chat.
Yeah. So the shared trip, it's not just splitting costs, right? That's really creating informal debt. You're signing other people up, or they're signing themselves up and not saying something if there's an issue.
Yeah. So with a shared trip, if you're booking a hotel or something, one person is paying for that. Hotels are not accepting 6 different types of payment from 4 different people. So it's who's fronting the money,
Right. If you've got a deposit, for sure.
right? What's the repayment timeline? I'm a big fan of a repayment timeline.
Hilary likes her terms. We learned that last episode. Don't owe
I like
Hilary
terms and
money.
conditions.
10% compounding interest daily. You said 10, right?
Yeah.
So glad I've never owed you money.
It's not a good position to be in for anyone. What happens if the plans change? Is there any documentation? For the record, texts count as documentation. Receipts. People will make fun of you, but keep your receipts.
We joke receipts, but they can be receipts. Hilary, we have a rule. Do we not?
We have a rule.
Would you like to share the rule?
It's our rule. No, go ahead. Tell the masses.
You weren't going to tell people our rule. I love our rule. Dance like no one's watching.
Text and email like it will one day be read aloud at a deposition. Like I've said on earlier episodes, I want everything in writing until I want nothing in writing.
We're not joking.
We're not. There are times that I will actually call Alexa because I don't want something in writing.
Alexa does the same thing.
So
Also, she doesn't want to sit there and text. She's busy. Yeah.
Alexa hates a texting girly.
These guys, they don't believe me. They like what I
Any guy
don't
that wants to date Alexa and doesn't believe her about the texting, as her friend and co-founder, I can attest to the fact that
One of my closest
homegirl
friends.
sent me a text yesterday. He's like, "Can you just please call me to sort this out? Thanks."
You almost got like a please fix. I was like, this is a lot of texting. I'm doing
It was
things.
3 texts.
I love you.
Great.
I will always make time for you. Stop texting me. Just call me. If it's more than like 3, pick up a phone. We'll be done
It was
so much
3.
faster and we can catch up.
But most people treat shared expenses very casually, but they don't understand that these are financial obligations without defined terms. So if you've fronted the money or you've booked the hotel, and let's say it's just 2 roommates, right? It's 2 of you at a $400 a night hotel and you're staying for 3 nights. My homie, you owe me some money. When am I getting it back?
And that's when Hilary becomes the loan shark.
The VIG comes into play.
Well, what's also really interesting is the idea that people treat expenses casually. I think that can also really come into play when you're coming at this from very different financial positions.
Mhm.
right? So maybe you view money differently. I think Hillary and I also um, shared some tidbits in our last episode about our first jobs and how we both had to get worker permits at
Mhm.
age 14. So while Hillary and I both are not opposed to splurging here and there, we both understand the value of money. And we're both, I think, pretty aware of what things cost relative to other options, right?
Right.
Right. So when terms aren't aligned on, one person can be flexible or feels that they're being flexible, and the other person can feel taken advantage of. Perception is reality, but
Right.
I think you can really just squash those things up front.
Yeah. If you talk about it up front, it's very easy to do. I don't know if you ever saw the show Modern Family, but in Modern Family, the when Sue goes to college, her roommate comes from a very wealthy family. And her roommate's like, "Oh, I got this TV. It was on sale. You can just send me your half later." Or, "I got this popcorn machine. Just send me your half later." "Oh, I'm going to book Taylor Swift concerts. My dad's business manager can get them. Just send me your half later." And Sue worked so hard and saved up so much money so that she could have fun in school. But it was like all of her money at that point was already gone for the whole year. And then she had to sit down and tell her roommate, "I'm not in the same position as you." To have once you're like in it. And that's
It's
what we keep
giving
saying.
it's giving Arrested Development. A banana, how much could it cost? $10.
Trader Joe's, you can get two of them for about 19 cents.
Hot tip. Write
They
that
have
one
Chiquita.
down.
Everyone else has Dole. Personally, I like Chiquita with the hat.
Chiquita. I know. The hat's good. Hat's really
Chiquita
good.
banana. I know that whole song. It's terrible.
Sing it.
I can't sing the entire thing, but I will say there are vitamins and minerals in every bite. And best of all, it is a taste delight. Chiquitas are delicious. And they're very nutritious.
Girl.
There was a store, Stu Leonard's, it's in Connecticut, and there's one in Yonkers. And the one that I grew up going
Why do
to
you know
has,
what this store is?
because we went there growing up, it wasn't far from my parents' house. And at their banana display, they have a Chiquita banana. And if you press the button, she sings the song.
Can we get one?
That's how I know the song.
Can we get one?
I don't know if we can get one, but if we do, it'll be right here behind me, and I'll hit the button and it'll dance.
Oh. Is it what? Because I have Balloon Man already?
I thought you were bringing Blue Man with you today, okay? I was like, that can't be in this.
No, I was just unplugging my computer behind Balloon Man. Uh, so funny. Okay, I'm gonna look for a Chiquita banana singing thing.
Fabulous.
Put it on my to-do
I'll
list.
put her in my
Why are
bookshelf.
people texting me? I'm very busy.
Looking up Chiquita banana.
Okay. When people don't realize how quickly situations stop being social and become legal.
Well, think about just the property aspect that we talked about a little earlier. Borrowed items that aren't returned, items that are returned damages. Let's talk about the clothes. When I borrow a piece of clothing for someone, my main questions are always going to be, is this regular wash, hand wash, or dry clean only? How do you want me to handle this? Or do you have a preference? If it's dry clean only, do you have a preference on which dry cleaner I bring it to? In New York City, we have a ton of dry cleaners. People have their favorites. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a "don't worry about it, I'll handle it" response.
Right.
Because
Some people
it's their
don't
item.
want you. Yeah.
But that one time, if you don't ask and you just make an assumption
Right.
and you throw something in, I had someone do this with one of my favorite sweaters from the row. I let them borrow it. They put it in the washing machine.
No. No,
It
no,
was
no,
a
no,
wool
no.
felt sweater. You cannot put those in the washing machine. They shrink.
No, no.
So that one time that you don't ask and you make an assumption, it can hit you, because now you borrowed this. You didn't ask what to do with it. You ruined it. You need to replace it. Well, no, like, we didn't agree that I had to replace it. So you're sort of,
Well, and can you even replace it anymore? You know, do they still make it? Yeah.
so You're sort of dealing with questions of possession and responsibility. Every time you borrow something or you share a purchase of something, that's a responsibility. That is either a debt owed, or actually, it can be a debt owed in both scenarios if you ruin something.
Right.
But if something happens, if you're borrowing, let's say I borrow from you.
What are you borrowing? What do you need?
Say I borrow those loafers you just got.
Nope.
Let's see, what can I borrow from you?
Whatever you want other than those shoes.
Tell me something I can borrow from you that you would be livid if it got messed up. You know what? You wore really cute suede boots to the Fetterman thing.
They are, yeah, they're good suede, but yeah.
So Alexa has a great pair of knee-high suede boots. And let's say I borrow your boots, Alexa. I just say, hey, can I borrow your boots? You don't even ask me which ones I'm borrowing. You just say, yeah, sure, whatever.
Sure.
And I borrow your suede boots. And let's say I'm not me. I'm a very fastidious person, so I'm probably the person you want borrowing your things.
Yes, you are.
But let's say I'm not the Hilary we all know and love. I know, it's devastating.
I don't want to meet her.
But I wear them out, and they're suede boots, and I know it's going to rain.
You know it's going to rain?
Let's say I don't know it's going to rain.
Jail.
Let's say I'm out, it starts to rain, and I don't do the smart, intelligent thing, which is let me grab an Uber or a cab wherever I have to go so I don't wreck these boots.
Or don't wear suede.
I was already out, and it started raining. Okay? I didn't check my weather app that day. I didn't look up at the sky. I had no idea it was happening. I told you it's not me. It's not the Hilary you know who checks her weather app 2 times a day. It's a different Hilary. It's the evil one.
I don't want to meet her. Okay.
Don't. She's mean. So let's say I don't do that. And I wear them out in the rain. And I just put them back in your closet. And I never say a word. I've just ruined your boots.
Jail.
What was my responsibility in that case? Per our borrowing arrangement, we had none.
Well, if I'm dealing with rational, normal, fastidious Hilary that I do know and love.
I would have brought them to the leather spa and have them fixed.
Exactly.
What I'm saying is, that's what we're talking about. When you return items that are damaged. Or when you borrow items and don't return it, it just becomes, you see this a lot with sisters, right? That are similar sizes and ages. One sister, usually the older one's always screaming at the younger one for borrowing her stuff and not giving it back. It just magically finds its way into the younger sister's closet, which I know because I have a lot of friends that have younger sisters.
Yeah, same. I've only heard about these scenarios. I've never lived them. I think I am that younger sister to my mom, my poor mother.
And then it's not just about the shared items. It's about the money, the reimbursement disputes, one person footing all of the costs. You're in an informal debt territory with 0 defined terms. Every time you borrow money from someone, you are creating an informal debt situation.
Absolutely.
And it relates to trips all the time amongst friends and roommates.
Should we talk about one of the most notorious ones? I can think of one off the top of my head, and I don't even have to think that hard. Anna Delvey and her friend Rachel.
Oh my God. And the $40,000 Amex bill.
It could have even been more. Wild. I will say that show did do I don't know if this was purposeful or not, or how much of this was true or not. They kind of portrayed Rachel as being afraid on the trip. And so it seemed like she kind of threw out her card to solve a problem and get out of a situation. So I don't know how much of that was true. I do think if you're ever afraid, you want to do whatever you can to get out of a situation and get to safety.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I understand that. But what? And then she chased this girl to repay her what she was supposed to have covered all of from the start for God knows how long.
I think until Amex finally just wiped it because they didn't want to be involved. And their whole thing is it's our card, it's our choice.
Yeah, absolutely wild. So I think that is just such a prolific example of what's your client's name for repayment?
Yeah.
You know, the one you were covered.
From what I recall, Anna was like, oh, I'm just waiting for the wire transfer.
That's what that girl said the entire
movie show.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for the wire to clear.
Another big thing with roommates, and we've talked about this in previous episodes, is going to be your lease and your liabilities regarding that lease. Guests overstaying. A lot of buildings do have limits on how long guests can stay. I know in my building, guests cannot stay for more than, I want to say 4 or 5 nights, and you cannot have a guest for more than 10 days per month.
The same guest or a guest?
A guest.
Interesting.
And violations, if your roommate violates your lease, it affects both of you. It's not just that they have to pay the fine. You both do. So you could be legally impacted by someone else's behavior in any shared living situation, which is why sometimes the building saying you can only have guests this many days isn't quite enough. Sometimes you have to sort of double down on it in something like a roommate agreement.
Well, you remember what happened with my old apartment.
The dog. I love a good Pollock story.
The dog was just, I guess, having accidents. The dog was like basically a graffiti artist tagging parts of the building. Like this was the canine Jackson Pollock. Okay. And
maybe the dog needed to go to that trip in Hawaii that you did. I think the dog needed a good backpacking excursion with wayward youth.
I always think it's really cute though when I do see dogs that have like the harness backpack and it's like,
oh my God, it's adorable. When you see like the Goldens with the hats on.
Well, wait, though. With the harness backpack, I'm kind of like, it's cute on, but if there's anything other than treats in there, I'm like, animal abuse. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because they're so sweet and cute and like, why should they have to work to carry anything? They're not like a mule. People are like, yeah, they can carry their own bags. And I'm like, no.
Horror. Jail, immediate jail.
Jail. So this dog was basically tagging up my apartment and I said something and I was getting no answers. Oh, we can't find the camera footage. And I'm like, do you not care that there's urine everywhere? I can't be the only person that cares, right?
Mm-hmm.
Def not. Okay. So I basically Nancy Drew this, okay? And I follow this Pollock trail one day because I'd had it. It sent me, okay? Because I'd have to pick up my dog to walk her all the time because I don't want my dog stepping in some other dog's urine. Crazy. Well, I'm also dodging it. So I followed it. I got off at every floor until I found it. Mm-hmm. And then it stopped at a certain door. So I went and I was like, hey, can you check if this apartment has a dog? And they were like, no, they don't. And I was like, okay, well.
They do.
The carpet says otherwise. So
the tagging says differently.
Yeah. If you're going to commit a crime, don't be like Hansel and Gretel about it.
Don't sign your name to it. I think that's the general rule.
Credit card and then ordered a pizza to their place. And I'm like, it was in like the 90s and I heard this on like talk radio in the back of my dad's car.
I got a random order receipt from an athleisure company for like $1,200 worth of stuff on my credit card. And they never switched the email, so I knew exactly where the stuff was going. I called Amex and was like, this is the exact name and address for shipping, in case you wanted to know.
You're like, Nancy Drew out. But, so they tell me this person does not have a dog. Then they're like, all right, we'll bite, right? They're like, Nancy, we'll take it from here. They find out the person that's living in this unit where the Pollock Trail ends, their significant other who's not on the lease was just staying there as a guest for weeks and weeks on end every month.
Naughty.
Mm-hmm.
We call that naughty.
Naughty. And also I was like, you might want to take the dog to a vet. I think it has a bladder infection. I'm no vet, but something's not right here.
Not the bladder infection?
Something's not right. Do you need me to dig up photos? I will.
No, I remember when it happened. I remember running through LaGuardia while you were telling me all about how you Nancy Drew'd it.
So, yeah. Don't let your guests be a liability to your roommate or to your entire community.
Yeah.
And take your dog to the vet.
This is sort of the takeaway from here. The moment money or property, a property could be something as simple as a pen or a t-shirt, As soon as money or property is involved, you're no longer just in a social dynamic, you're in a legal one. And I think a lot of people just don't realize that.
I think what people underestimate is how quickly perception does shift.
The whole, this is my friend versus this person is always taking advantage of me.
Or the no big deal becomes this always happens.
Yeah, the issue isn't the behavior, it's the pattern that people believe that they're seeing.
Once someone starts keeping score, the relationship has already changed.
Tit for tat is never wise in any relationship.
What's interesting is you see a dramatized version of this in Roommates from Netflix we were talking about earlier.
Right. And then also on Netflix, you see the real life cases in Worst Roommate Ever.
Yes.
And the uncomfortable part is they don't start differently.
No.
They start with assumptions, unclear boundaries, and people avoiding uncomfortable conversations.
Well, the difference isn't that those situations are unique. It's that they were allowed to go unchecked for too long. What a roommate agreement changes? Well, a roommate agreement doesn't eliminate risk, but it changes your position when something goes wrong.
Right.
So when it comes to expectations, you're not relying on memory, you're referencing something concrete. And reimbursement isn't implied, even if you have a loan shark saying that she's got VIG. Reimbursement is defined.
You're aware of that VIG well before it gets implemented.
Exactly. When it comes to things like boundaries with guests, property, and shared space, they're not assumed. They're agreed upon, either ahead of time or when you decide we've already lived together and we want a fresh start, we're going to implement an agreement.
Right.
So from that point on, things are agreed upon, not assumed. I think it really shifts things from this feels unfair to, oh, this is what we agreed upon, right?
Right.
So maybe I feel like my stuff is where I expect it to be when I go to use it. And that's what we agreed upon. But also, yeah, I can't borrow their stuff without asking them. But that is what we agreed upon.
Right. It's also, speaking of, I expect my stuff to be where it is. I don't know if you ever watched The Golden Girls. I have, because I think they're fabulous. I want to be them when I grow up. I'm pretty sure they're only about 10 years older than us when they were filming. But I'm not kidding. At one point, Blanche is looking for, I think, earrings. And she says to Dorothy, where are my earrings? And Dorothy says, oh, I let Rose borrow. And Blanche doesn't lend things to Rose because Rose loses everything.
Rose lost her head about however long. I don't know. Yeah.
And it wasn't like the main point of that episode. I just always think of that when you say something like, I expect my stuff to be where it should be when I go to use it.
Yeah. Because unless I know that someone's asked me to borrow it, why wouldn't it be there? Have we been robbed? Did my dog learn how to use Facebook Marketplace? Like, I don't.
Okay, I know Marge. She might.
Listen, she
side eyes you pretty hard, so
she's got a lot of opinions.
She's got more opinions than the two of us put together, and we have a lot of opinions.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing I don't have an agreement with her.
Tell her I'll negotiate on her behalf.
That's why she doesn't have. That's the reason why I forgot. Sorry, that's a conflict of interest on your end.
It's really not.
No, it is. Trust me, I'm her mother.
I disagree.
Anyway, what were we saying? Oh, yes, that's right. Without structure, every issue becomes a negotiation. With structure, it becomes a reference.
Yeah, there's usually a very specific moment where someone realizes something's not just off. It's actually a problem. And that could be, why am I paying for everything? Why are they using my things? Or more importantly, why do I feel uncomfortable in my own space? And at that point, once you have that realization, you're trying to fix something without a shared baseline.
Yeah, I mean, the risk isn't living with the wrong person. It's realizing too late that you are operating under completely different assumptions. So, as always, this is Write That Down. We'll be back next week. Until then, we're here to remind you, it's not about who you live with, it's about how you live together.